welcome back to my channel. I am so happy you're here. We're gonna let pop girly songs pick my TBR in this video. I saw Sarah Girlie doing something similar where she let her favorite Spotify songs, I think, pick her TBR. And since I'm gonna go see Sabrina Carpenter tomorrow, I thought I'd do a pop girly version of that. I created a list of different books and matched them with songs from pop girlies like Taylor Swift, Gracie Abrams, Macy Peters, and all of those girls. And obviously Sabrina. And I put all of those songs into a playlist and we're just gonna put them on shuffle and read the book that matches that song, if that makes sense. Since I have not read any of those books, obviously, I looked that up on TikTok, songs that matches certain books, and some of those are from that, and then I also asked ChatGPT for ideas. So that's how I created my list. But I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go to Berlin to see Sabrina. It's currently Tuesday night. I'll be gone for 2 days, so I'm gonna drive there tomorrow morning and then I will get back on Thursday night. We're gonna take the train and it's gonna take like 5-ish hours, I think, to get there. So I have 5 hours of reading time tomorrow and then another 5 hours on Thursday. So I do want to pick a few books right now. So I think I'm gonna do 2 picks right now. I'm gonna record my screen, but I'm gonna mute my phone because I don't want to get copyrighted. But we're gonna see what my first song is and what the first book I will be reading will be. So let's hit play. The first song that came up was That's So True by Gracie Abrams. And I'm gonna look it up on my list. Okay, so the first book we're gonna read is One Dark Window. I have a physical copy of that, so I'm gonna go grab that. So I'm gonna read One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick. I have no idea what this is about. I've had this on my TBR for months. It says a maiden must unleash the monster within to save her kingdom in this dark, lush, gothic fantasy debut. So it's a fantasy, which is really fun. I've been reading so much romance lately and I've been enjoying that a lot, but I think it will be fun to read some fantasy to switch things up. I'm gonna go more into detail once I start this book, but I want to pick a second read. So the next song is So High School by Taylor, and the book I'm reading for that song is Night Shift. I also have a physical copy of that one, so I'm also gonna grab that one. So the second book I'm gonna read is Night Shift by Annie Crown. This is a college romance. And I'm also gonna go more into detail why I chose those books for those specific songs. But this is gonna be a quick read. It only has like not even 300 pages, I think. A little over 300 pages. But it's probably gonna be a cute romance. So these are the books I'm gonna take with me on my little trip. Good morning. I did not end up starting my book last night. I went to bed around like 11, so I was too tired for that. But it's now almost 7 a.m. and I have to leave like 7:50-ish. So I'm gonna finish packing now and get ready and have some breakfast. I have like 10 minutes until I have to leave, but I've packed everything and I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna talk a little about One Dark Window. That was my bookmark. This is a gothic fantasy novel and it follows Elspeth, who is possessed by a mysterious spirit, which is called the Nightmare, and nobody knows about that. She got infected as a child and she gets involved with this rebellion against the king, and there's also some romance involved. It does sound pretty good. There's forced proximity, a slow burn romance, and found family, so those tropes sound really good. And I matched this with That's So True because they both deal with inner conflict. Gracie and also Elspeth talk about the battle between knowing what's true and still trying to ignore it. So it deals with coming to terms with reality, even if that's not what you want. So we're gonna see if the song actually matches the book. I'm excited to get into this. I'm too socially awkward to vlog in public, so I'm not sure when I'm gonna talk to you next, but I think I'll just keep a list of my thoughts about the book and talk about them later, just so I don't forget about anything I wanted to talk about. Happy Friday. I got back home at around 9:30 last night and I was so exhausted. I fell asleep so quickly, and I obviously also didn't talk to you while I was in Berlin. I just can't do that with my anxiety. Like, not only talking to a camera but then also talking in English, I can't do that. But I had a really good time. The concert was really good. I just feel like nothing will ever compare to the Eras tour. I feel so bad for always thinking about that after going to concerts, like always comparing it to Taylor, but I just can't stop myself. It was really good. And also the opener, Rachel Chinoriri, I think. I've seen her on TikTok, but I haven't listened to her music before, and she was really good. I do technically have quite a lot to do today, but I don't feel like doing anything. It's already 1 p.m. I just took a shower and got ready just because I wasn't feeling that great this morning. So I thought putting on some makeup would maybe help, and it did. I unpacked this morning and just washed my bedding. Hopefully it's gonna dry pretty quickly today so I can change it later. I still have to clean a little, at least do my kitchen, because that's a mess because I didn't clean it before I left. I wanted to do my whole planning today, like my meal plan, my grocery list, my plan for next week, like my to-dos and stuff like that. And I think I am going to do that, but I also wanted to get groceries, go to the post office, pick up my birth control pill, and clean my whole apartment. And I doubt that I'm gonna do that. I feel so exhausted. It's 1 p.m. I don't have any like set plans other than that my boyfriend's gonna sleep over tonight, but he's not gonna get here until like 7 p.m. ish. So I have a lot of reading time today. If I don't end up being productive. I probably should, But then also, I have a day off work today, and I want to use that to relax. But then I also feel bad for not doing anything. I have a hard time with not being productive, because then I always feel bad and like I'm not using my time properly, which is such a dumb way of thinking, because I am allowed to take some time off and relax and do nothing. So I have to work on that mindset. But I read quite a lot of One Dark Window. I'm on page 282, so I have like 120 pages left. And I'm loving it. I don't know why I didn't pick this up sooner. It's been on my TBR for ages, but I've been flying through it. And I'm definitely gonna finish it tonight and start Night Shift. I do have to say the magic system in this one is very unique. I think I have never read anything like it, but it's also kind of confusing at some points. And I've been also having a hard time remembering the characters. But this is about Elspeth, who lives in the kingdom of Blunder, and the kingdom has been cursed by dark magic. And Elspeth got also infected when she was 9 years old. She's now 20, so she's been infected for 11 years, and she's been dealing with this kind of spirit in her head who talks to her, and she calls it the nightmare. But to sum it up, the magic system consists of a deck of cards, and each card has a unique magical ability, and the person that is holding the card is able to use that ability. And if someone is able to collect the whole deck of cards, so all 12 cards, it's said that he's or she's able to get rid of the dark magic in the kingdom. And essentially Elspeth joins a rebellion that is trying to collect all of the cards to cure the dark magic. There's also some romance in it, and I've been really enjoying that part. I've highlighted a few scenes, and it's been really good. I think I'm gonna keep it at that. I have not read a lot of dark fantasy, so this is something new, but I think I have to pick up more of that genre because I'm really enjoying it. And there's also a second part. I'm not sure if there's also a third part. I think the second part is Two Twisted Crowns or something like that. I'm definitely gonna buy that one. But like I said, I have like over 100 pages left. I'm gonna sit down now and finish this book. We're not going to talk about the fact that I last talked to you on Friday and said that I'm going to finish this book, and now it's Tuesday. But I'm on my lunch break right now, and I just finished the last pages of One Dark Window, and it was so good. I'm going to rate it 4 stars. It could have been 5 stars if I didn't take a few days off reading this book, because now I was just kind of out of it and I had to get back into it. But I'm definitely gonna get the second part. I really like the character development of a few characters, and also the relationship between Elspeth and Robin. I do have to say the romance was a little insta-lovey, sometimes also a bit cringy, but I still ate it up, and something really big happened at the end, and I'm so intrigued to see what's gonna happen next. But now we're finally gonna go into night shift, but now I have to get back to work. I also have therapy soon. I'm only 18 pages into this. I'm kind of meh about it right now. It's pretty stereotypical so far. Is that what it's called? But this is about 2 college students. One of them is a basketball player, and the female main character is like this bookworm who works in a library on Friday nights, but everyone else goes to parties. And right now I'm at the point where they first meet each other. It's nothing really special so far, but hopefully it's still gonna get better. I'm now on page 182, so I'm like more than halfway through. It definitely is a very easy read. I've been flying through it, but I've been not enjoying it. The female main character is so annoying, and it's also very much insta-love. He kissed her on the forehead like the third time they met, which you shouldn't do. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And they're both already head over heels for each other, even though they've met like 3 times and don't know anything about each other. And there's also so much miscommunication in this book. And the female main character is a big reader and also watches a lot of movies. So she talks a lot about how she hates the miscommunication trope. But this whole book consists of miscommunication. I don't know if that's supposed to be like funny or something, but it's really annoying. I'm still not gonna DNF it. Like I said, it's a very quick read and I'm just gonna finish it now. But right now I'm tending towards a 2-star rating. Like I said, there's a lot of miscommunication in this book, and it's like the same thing keeps happening over and over again. The main characters have like some sort of stupid argument, or they pretty much just miscommunicate. Like, it's not even an argument. He does something, she immediately overreacts, storms off, and talks about it with her friends. They tell her it's the miscommunication trope. Then she talks about it with him, and the same thing happens again. Like, that exact scenario happened 3 times in this book. And that's pretty much the only thing that happened. Like, there's no character building. Like, I don't know anything about the main characters other than that he plays baseball and she likes books. Like, I don't know anything about their personalities. I don't really get what their relationship is based on. As you may be able to tell, I'm not enjoying this at all. 1 star. And that's generous. I hated every single second reading this. This was so bad. Apparently it was a Wattpad story originally, and you can tell. Like, it did also read Wattpad when I was like 12, but you can tell. This felt like a 12-year-old wrote this. The whole story was bad. Like I said, there was no character building at all. It was so insta-love. It was non-stop miscommunication. And the smut, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, I've never read smut that was so badly written. I either laughed out loud at some points or was about to cry. I got the ick so bad. Like, it's just like, have you ever touched a human being or talked to a human being? I feel like this is like generally one of the worst books I've ever read. And I feel so bad for saying that because it was so hyped on TikTok, and I also love the cover of it. And the premise does sound pretty good. It's about a bookworm and a baseball player. Basketball, I'm sorry. They also didn't talk about that, so I don't know anything about the characters. The song I matched this book with was So High School. And the only thing right about that is that it felt like high school. Not even high school, maybe middle school. I don't want to talk about this anymore. It was so bad, please don't read it. Thank you. But now we can hopefully move on to a better book. I really hope so. I'm gonna bring out my playlist again. And we're just gonna hit shuffle again, and then we're gonna see what we're gonna read. I'm gonna record my screen again. And we're gonna hit shuffle. The song is Look What You Made Me Do by Taylor. And then we're gonna check the list to see what book matches that song. The book I'm gonna read next is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I feel like I'm the only person in the booktube community that hasn't read this book, so I'm kind of anxious. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna like it. I think the third part is also coming out this month or in April. It's Dusty. That's how long it's been on my TBR. That's embarrassing. I don't really know anything about it, so I'm gonna talk about it later once I get into it. I also realized that I never talked about the song that I matched to One Dark Window, or if the song matches the book I picked out. And I would say kind of, because One Dark Window and also That's So True by Gracie are both about like rather being on your own than depending on someone and being let down. And in One Dark Window, Elspeth doesn't really talk about what she's experiencing with the nightmare, so nobody knows about that, and she's been dealing with it on her own. So that kind of matches with the song. Also, the bridge of That's So True really matches this book, because I mean Gracie obviously talks about a man, but she talks about how she lost herself and that slowly killed her, and that he took everything from her. And well, in this book this isn't true about the love interest, but about the nightmare, so the spirit that lives inside her. He's also draining her and is slowly killing her, so that also matches. But I was also listening to I Did Something Bad while reading this, and especially the part where Taylor sings "They're burning all the witches even if you aren't one. They got their pitchforks and proof, their receipts and reasons." That matches that book also so well, because every child that gets infected with this fever gets killed, just in case that child develops magic at some point. So there's always the possibility that there won't even be any magic, but they still kill off all of the children that are infected. I haven't updated you in a couple of days. It's Saturday night right now, it's 8 p.m. and I got home like almost 3 hours ago, and I haven't done anything since. But I'm kind of feeling strange, like mentally. I don't know why, but we have to change that. So I'm gonna pick up Powerless. I have read a little the past few days. I'm now on page 90. And I'm really enjoying it. So hopefully I can get a good chunk of this read tonight. But I met with one of my best friends yesterday, and we went shopping, and then also went to the bookstore, of course. And then today my boyfriend and I drove to Frankfurt and got some boba and some matcha, and I had this iced strawberry matcha. It was so good. And then we also went out for lunch, and then he also got me some flowers. So the full princess treatment today, but I have a tiny haul. I also got some clothes yesterday, but those are already in the laundry, so I'm not going to show you those. But I'm going to show you the books I got. I got 2 books in the mail yesterday, and I also picked up 2 books at the bookstore. I picked up 2 Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick. It's the second part to One Dark Window. And then I finally got Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. I've been wanting to read this for months. Everybody is raving about it on social media. And then I also got 2 books in the mail. I got The Baby Dragon Cafe by A.T. Reshi. I put this on my April TBR, but I didn't have a physical copy yet, so I ordered one. And then I'm so excited for this. I pre-ordered this months ago, and it finally came in the mail yesterday. I got Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I am so excited to read this. I love pretty much every book I've read by her so far, so I'm so excited to pick this up. page 322, so I have about 180 pages left. It's almost 9 p.m. on Sunday, so I'm probably not gonna finish it tonight because I have to be in the office at 8 a.m. tomorrow and I don't want to be tired, so I'm probably not gonna stay up too much longer. But I realized that I never really talked about the plot of this book, I think. I mean, it's a pretty popular book, so you've probably already heard about it. But in this kingdom, the people are divided in elites and ordinaries. The elites all have magical powers, like cloning themselves, mind reading, like anything you could imagine. And the ordinaries don't have any powers. They were banished from the kingdom decades ago. And if an ordinary is found in the kingdom, they get killed. And Peyton, who's the main character in this book, is an ordinary, but she has to pose as an elite to obviously not get killed. And she pretends to be a psychic to blend in. And one day, when she's in the slum she lives in, she saves one of the kingdom's princes. The king and queen have 3 sons, Kai, Kid, and Jax. And after saving Prince Kai, Peyton is thrown into the purging trials, which is this competition to showcase the elite's powers. But nobody knows that Peyton doesn't actually have a power. So she has to try to survive those trials. And the competition is really brutal. It's divided into different trials, and I just finished reading about the first trial, and some of the competitors were already killed. So it's definitely high stakes. And there's also a romance subplot. I think this is romantasy. But I'm actually a little confused because I feel like there's a romance-ish storyline going on with 2 princes. With Kai and with Kit. Not with Jax, but he's only like 15. But I'm actually kind of confused about that. I'm not sure if both of them like Peyton, or if I just misunderstood some actions. I'm not sure, but it's so entertaining. I'm really enjoying this, and it's really easy to read. Sometimes I do struggle with fantasy, but this is pretty easy to read. I mean, I feel like the world isn't too complex, like you do get the gist of how things work there pretty easily. But I've honestly had such a good reading day. I've already read over 200 pages, like 220. Reading Powerless last night, and I'm gonna rate it 4.5 stars. I can't put my finger on why it isn't a 5-star for me. I just don't have that 5-star feeling, but I absolutely loved it. It was so good. The song that matched with this book was Look What You Made Me Do by Taylor, and that was the perfect choice. Like, I feel like there couldn't have been a better song for this book. I've been filming this video for way too long again, so I'm gonna end it off here. If you have read any of the books I read in this video and have any songs that fit better in your opinion, definitely let me know in the comments. I would love to talk about that, but I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!